first and foremost, welcome back. I want to thank everybody who subscribes to the channel, watches through videos, waits for new uploads. I'm going to keep churning them out one kind of rambling rant at a time. So today, what I'm going to talk about is Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi, however you want to pronounce it. I've heard it a few different ways. It depends, I guess, on who's doing the review. In general, I've always said Shang-Chi, so that's probably how I'm going to reference it throughout this video. So I've seen it. What I'll say is, okay, so before anything, spoiler alert, I'm going to ruin stuff about the film if you haven't seen it already. This is more of a rant in a, you've seen the film, you want to hear my thoughts on the film, and I'm just kind of talking about the film. So you've been warned. If you stay after this and you're like, I can't believe, and you write in the comments, how dare you ruin, I'm telling you now, I'm giving you more than enough time. I'm going to keep rambling, so continue to say I've given you time. Okay, now you've been warned. Okay. So, to start, I have been looking for a new direction. There we go. A new direction for Marvel films with all of their properties since, I'll be honest, probably The Winter Soldier. And not the TV show, the movie. Winter Soldier. So, something different than the normal hero, their journey, and, main big bad guy. And it's just very, like, paint by numbers. Like, this is the bad guy, this is their motivation, they want to take over the world. Like, that's all the thing. That's all I was expecting from most Marvel things. Like, you get into a film, it's like, okay, is it going to be the hero? We meet them. Maybe they can't be a hero. They are the hero. And then you see the bad guy take over the world. And then that's pretty much the film. Like, that's all of them. Like, every one of them. So you have, like, Iron Man, all of his villains. He's Iron Man. There's a problem that he has. He overcomes that problem because he's Iron Man. And then bad guy, I want to take over the world. You have Guardians of the Galaxy. You meet Peter Quill, those characters, they have their problem. And then, the person wants to do something, they want a conquest, and they're doing it for Thanos and all this. Like, that's all it ever is. Like, Captain America, everyone. Like, everyone just wants conquest of everything. Okay. This movie is such a refreshing... It's so... There's so many layers. It's like eating a really good onion. That didn't work right. It's like eating an onion because there are layers. I was trying to think of another food that had layers that would be good. It's like eating a cake with delicious layers, and every time you bite into a new layer, there's more texture, flavor, and it's complex. It's great. So you meet the character. You're introduced to the character, you're introduced to his social circle, and then you see the development of the character, like, as they're growing. You find out more about the character, the story kind of unfolds, and it genuinely has moments where you're like, oh, I know Marvel. This is how they're going to do this film. And it completely circumvents it. Like, it takes stuff in a direction that you're really not expecting it to go. Right? So, perfect example. You meet Shang-Chi. You are introduced to him as this person who's kind of not wasting their life, but he's just content in, I'm in LA, hanging out with my friend, this is just what my life is. You are now thrust into his life of what you find out is because of his father, because of the necklace that he has his mother gave him. Okay. And you're like, oh, okay, I know what it is. Father's going to take the necklace. Somehow this is going to be linked to a world dominant, it's a conquest mission. I know where this movie's going. I can leave the theater now. Okay. So then, immediately, the character's like, I gotta go find my sister. Because she has the other part of the, let's call it the MacGuffin. So it's like, she has the other part. If he gets that, oh no. But then as it progresses, like you get introduced to the sister, you immediately meet the father when he goes to meet the sister, and you find out, okay, so it's not conquest. It has nothing to do with conquest. If anything, it's more reconciliation. So you find out the mother died. Way to go, Disney, with their constantly killing mother figures in films. Just somebody has a mother in a film and it's a Disney film. Watch out. Like if quick side note, if you are someone who wants to work for Disney and you're like, oh, there's a role and the character they want me to play is the maternal figure, watch out. You probably won't last long. Just throw that out there. Okay. So you get introduced to the character of the Mandarin. You're following his like thought process, and you're like, oh, he's got the two pendants from the children, and it's all about conquest. This is what he wants to do. That's what his organization is. That's what I know the 10 rings to be from Iron Man 3. That's what it's going to be. Somehow it's going to lead to conquest. Like if he has it, it's going to be that way. And they even have, to kind of throw you, Shang-Chi's character talk about like, oh, if he wants it, it must be for a bad reason. But then you find out it's just because the dad misses the mom. Like she died, and she's from Tao Lo, which is like the they say in the film it's a different universe to the one that we're currently in, like watching Shang-Chi. But she comes from that world, and like he originally went there, he was trying to figure out like their powers and stuff, and then he met the mom. The mom was like, you don't know nothing. Alright, I'm not sure where this is gonna go in my little review of everything, but I would be remiss if I did not mention how much I enjoyed the choreography of the fight scenes in this film. Not just because it was all Shang-Chi's like fight scenes. The fight scenes with his sister, great. With his father, great. With his mother, great. All of the fight scenes played into the story. Like they helped with the storytelling so well. And I want Marvel to keep doing that. I want it to be that the story and the fight scenes are like married together, like they all work, as opposed to the story is purely to get you to the next fight scene. Like the way that they're fighting each other, she has no malice, right? Like he has this like, I've been around for a long time, I can beat you, and she has none. Just, you're here, I can show you, you don't understand yet. And the mother's lost. Like you find out she's been murdered, but the mother's lost. The father, and you find out a little bit later in the film why this happens. The father is hearing, you're seeing the air quotes now, so you know it's obviously not what I'm about to say, hearing the mom calling to him saying, oh, you thought I died. What actually happened is the people that I came from, that are in Talo, they took me back. And I'm just, they have me in basically a prison, and you can come get me. So, yeah. That's his whole motivation. I want my wife back. Like, it's not world conquest. He's already figured out by the time you meet the Shang-Chi character how his 10 rings is going to infiltrate the world. Like, domination isn't the point. So his motivation is just like, I want the mom back. And then you're sitting there as the audience member like, I mean, he wants to bring the family back together. Like, I kind of want to root against him, but like, then am I saying I don't want them to have their mom? Like, you know as the audience member, it can't be real, right? Like, it can't be the mom talking. Or you're left in this kind of nebulous, like, maybe it's real, because they keep referencing the fact that they're supernatural creatures, and, you know, the Avengers, and the Snap, and Thanos, and the Infinity God. So maybe it is mom. Who knows? Okay. You're brought into the world of Talo. They introduce everything. They explain what actually happened to the mom, because you meet the aunt, and they actually explain what happened to the mom. Okay. So you have Shang-Chi, you have his sister as well, and then you have Shang-Chi's best friend. So they're all there. They go. Okay. They get there. They obviously are told the truth. Your mom is obviously gone. That's not your mom calling you your dad. It is this gate we've been protecting for 4,000 years, I think they said. And whatever's behind that gate wants him to break that gate, and they know he can with those 10 rings. Okay, so obviously you have the big fight scene. Everybody's fighting. He's trying to open the gate, and then the people on the Mandarin side in the 10 rings see the creatures coming out of the gate. And then there's the, nah, we're not gonna help you. And then one of the creatures grabs one of the guys and tries to like suck his soul out, because it's very like SHANG something. Like they steal your soul and they use it to power the other creature. And the guy's like, nope. Whatever you can do to help, let's work together. And all of the development, all of the story, everything that happens, you're like, okay, I think I know where this is gonna go. There are two moments that I can think of that when it happens, you're like, okay, that was kind of choreographed. So obviously, Shang-Chi getting the 10 rings, because you kind of expect that by the end of the movie. And then there's a moment when Awkwafina's character, who is Shang-Chi's best friend, is told, shoot an arrow at the throat of the big bad guy, which is a big dragon. Shoot an arrow at his throat. So you're like, oh, obviously that's going to happen too. Okay. The fight scenes, the CGI, everything about it was gorgeous. The cinematography was amazing. The music was fantastic. The whole film was just good. Okay? What I'll say is that you weren't hurting in the parts that didn't have action for the film to be a good film. Like it was just a good film. Like it was just a good watch. The characters were compelling. The dialogue between them was compelling. Nobody did any of the normal, like, here's a scene, I'm just going to make a joke and it's going to be inappropriate for the scene. It worked. A lot of it worked together. I'm very happy with what they're doing. And it opened up a universe where you didn't really have to have all of the Marvel stuff. Like they tie in some of the Marvel stuff, right? So they tie in Wong, both in the fight scene when Shang-Chi originally sees his sister again, and then at the end, like post-credits. Okay. It's a good film all around. To be honest, I recommend everyone to see it because it's just great. I want Marvel to do more films like this. I'm hoping that the direction of this new phase of Marvel is more films like this, because this was phenomenal. So, below, let me know what you thought. Let me know your favorite part of the film. Let me know your favorite character. And let me know if you actually side with the Mandarin. Like, if it turns out, or if it had turned out, that the mom could have actually been saved, would you have latched onto the character and like, oh, like, whatever he's trying to do, he's trying to save his family? Like, would you have agreed with it if it meant doing what he was trying to do? Like, would you have agreed with the character if it meant unifying the family? Because that's just a crazy motivation for the bad guy to have. Because now the bad guy is against the hero and saying, like, I can put our family back together. It's crazy. So, again, everyone who subscribed, thank you. If you've watched to the end, I appreciate it. Comment below any new movies, music, TV shows, anything like that. I had referenced some other stuff that I've been doing, so I'm going to keep watching the series and putting stuff out. And thanks. That's it.